Making American Government and Politics Tenable. Making American Government and Politics More Understandable, presented by Citizen U. Today's theme, participation. Today we'll be looking at political participation. When assessing participation in American government, let's first look at suffrage. Voting is the sine qua non of the democratic process. Suffrage allows citizens to select or vote for the candidates of their choice in an election. Suffrage, the right to vote, is also called the franchise. There are many ways to participate in our democracy, but none more important than casting an intelligent vote. Suffrage, the right to vote. We're looking at participation. The following 10 words will make participation more understandable, more tenable. Elites. In the beginning, the laws of America seemed to favor those few elites who owned property. Voting in our 13 original colonies was reserved for the best and the brightest. Even today, most would agree that certain elites continue to play a disproportionate role in guiding our public debate. Those elites tend to be wealthy, highly educated, and often famous. Elites. Why not hand power in our government over to the best and the brightest? 15, 19, 26th Amendments. The 15th Amendment gave African American males the right to vote. The 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. The 26th Amendment gave young people between the ages of 18 and 20 the right to vote. Despite extending suffrage, the percentage of eligible voters voting did not increase with these amendments. Fifteenth, 19th, 26th Amendments. Would you advocate expanding suffrage even further? Explain. Exit poll. An exit poll is a survey taken of a small number of voters immediately following their vote. If performed scientifically and randomly, an accurate prediction can be made as to who can be expected to win in that election. The media's demand for immediate results fuels the desire to take exit polls. Exit poll. Explain the merit of exit polls. How might exit polls be dangerous? Activists. Activists are those citizens who are the most ideologically rigid. Because of their hardened views, they are more likely to get involved. Activists have a high turnout rate. The consequence, however, means that compromise and civility between the two major parties becomes increasingly difficult. Activists. What prompts certain citizens to become activists? Critical elections, often called realignments. Critical elections occur when one loyal group of voters decide to switch their allegiance to another party due to one prevailing issue. When this occurs, we call it a realignment. Today, it rarely happens. Today, we are more likely to see a de-alignment. This occurs when voters no longer claim loyalty to any political party. More and more Americans see themselves as independent voters. Critical elections. Realignments. What might bring about another critical election? Voting Rights Act of 1965. Though the 15th Amendment extended the right to vote to African Americans, many state governments put in place hurdles, making it difficult to cast an honest ballot if you were black. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 put in place federal authority to protect the right of African Americans to vote. For example, it eliminated literacy tests. Voting Rights Act of 1965. Why did Congress need to pass the Voting Rights Act in 1965? Wasn't the 15th Amendment enough? Turnout. The most common form of political participation in the United States is voting. Our turnout rates rank among the lowest when compared to other democracies. Turnout is the number of eligible voters who show up on Election Day. Our highest turnout occurs during presidential elections. Today, older, more educated citizens are more likely to vote. Young people and those who have completed a high school education or less tend not to vote. Turnout is a leading indicator of political efficacy. Turnout. What would you do to increase voter turnout? Do we want more people to vote? Single-member district. Single-member districts mean that each congressional district is held by one elected official. That official need not win a majority, but a plurality of votes. It is a winner-take-all system. Single-member districts affect how we participate and who we get to vote for. Single-member district. What would the advantages and disadvantages be of switching away from single-member districts? Winner-take-all. The winner-take-all rule is most clearly seen when looking at the Electoral College. Most states have the rule that the candidate who receives the most votes in that state will in turn receive all of that state's electoral votes. Winner-take-all. Why was the winner-take-all rule established? One man, one vote. In a series of high-profile Supreme Court cases in the early 1960s, Baker v. Carr and Wesbury v. Sanders, the justices entered into what they called the political thicket. The precedent, one man, one vote, extended equality to all voters. Prior to these cases, reapportionment and redistricting often denied full rights to African Americans. The one man, one vote decision remedied this inequity. One man, one vote. Why did Earl Warren, the Chief Justice, claim that one man, one vote was his most important decision? We're making American government and politics tenable. We're here to make American government and politics understandable, one word at a time. Presented by citizenu.org.